Cool.
Are we
It's
good?
it's 12:29.
See that.
Hello, everybody. Justin,
Hang on.
we have our special guest coming on in about a minute or so. So please do not leave this and continue to watch us. And have you tagged us, Shweta?
Not yet. I'm just tagging you. Yes, we are live.
Minutes.
Yay, we are live. And
Yay.
I don't think anyone's going to leave that too. Everybody likes our faces.
Me too.
Oh.
Do you want to entertain people, Sangeeta?
Well, I could tell them a joke.
Let's start.
That too. See? That was a good one. Gotta agree. So we have a surprise for everybody, right? Well, it's not so much of a surprise. Everybody knows who our guest is. But when she'll come on is a surprise, I guess.
Let me just send her a message saying we are on and ready.
Awesome. I'm just trying to tag you guys. I wonder if I can do that.
I can do that. Should I do it? Oh, no, but it's your post.
Just give me
right? So,
a moment.
right. You've got to do it.
Yes, I think I can. The Facebook surprises me, just like the future surprises me. It's a new space every day.
The future and Facebook totally has our backs.
Awesome. Whoa. So how much energy is there to this conversation in the future? What do you guys suddenly, is there a transformation the moment we went live? Like, what are you sensing? What is this going to be like? I wonder.
Yeah, and then, like, isn't it interesting? Like, the minute you go on live on a platform like social media, you become aware of the bandwidth you're reaching out to.
Yeah.
And like the space that is required for us also to be, but the space that is available, because it's not just a one-way street, right? We're also kind of receiving from that bandwidth.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder I wonder how much are we already receiving from the future?
Yeah.
That we're not aware of yet.
But we can't. And Simone is asking to get
Yay!
Yeah.
Awesomeness.
Is she on?
I just admitted her. I wonder.
I'm still asking. Let me admit. Okay. Just did.
She on? She sent me a message saying coming.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on because we are admitting her, but it just...
Yeah, she's here.
There she is.
Here I am.
Hi,
Hello.
Simone.
Welcome.
Hey guys.
This is happening,
We're
guys.
doing back-to-back lives today. It's like
Yeah. Let's just take a few seconds because this is happening with, oh my God, we are all so freaking grateful to you for agreeing to come and like talk to us, and then like thank you so very much. And we thought we'll begin this call with like, you know, like a true Indian style with some Indian gossip. So
shh, don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone. So I've been having some conversations with a couple of friends, and a lot of us, including the three of us, we are admittedly guilty of having a tiny little crush on you, and we love the way you and we love everything that's kind of available right now. So thank you so much once again. Like I could go on and on, but yeah. Like
And Simone, if I can say, you're looking stunning. And those earrings
Thank
are
you.
very becoming.
Thank
like you're looking absolutely stunning. Thank you.
Thank you. I got to say, my body has been enjoying being at home for a little bit. I mean, I worked out the other day. It's like, I think I've been traveling for like 16, 17 years, like a lot of months, like anywhere from like 4 months to 10 months, the last 5 years, definitely of the year. So this is the longest I've been home in forever. So I am noticing my body is like, thank you. So, you know, looking at the schedule of what I can do and be and change for the future as well.
Wow.
I'll still travel all over the world. I love it. I might just not be so hard on myself and my body. So, yeah.
That's an invitation. Thank you.
Awesome.
So let's begin. I mean, like when we were tapping into the energy of the class and what Gary really is offering or like in the form of this class on the 3rd, we really seem to have very few words for it, and it's more of this energy. And we actually want to, I mean, we would really like, can you please talk a little more about it?
Yeah.
Like about living the future. And
yeah, and I'm going to say, I'm with you. It's like, so here's some of the things that I'm noticing is like, I mean, you know, it's been very interesting that the whole world has been on lockdown, because it's like we all had to look at things like that's in our face, you know, whether it's relationships or jobs, or like for me, it was travel, you know, different things like that. We've really had, is that me beeping? Why am I beeping? I've got my things off. Anyway, I don't know why I'm beeping.
Or it could be the future beeping. What do we know about?
It could be the future beeping. So there you go. So, but one of the things I've been looking at too is I see a lot of people that are, well, not, I don't know, a lot of people are sort of talking about like, oh, when we go back to normal, or when this occurs, etc. And it's like, we're not going back to anything. And it's like, the world has changed. The world has changed. So what I get now, and here's the thing, guys, if you're watching this, don't trust me. Like, trust you. Don't trust anything I say. Don't trust anything that anyone else says. And what I notice too is there's so much stuff out there on social and videos, you know, being around. And some stuff I'm watching and I'm like, whoa, that actually makes me feel way lighter. And other, I'm like, you know, it's all about resistance and reaction instead of what do we know that's going to create a different future. And I get right now, we get to create our future more than ever before. Like, we lost control as we knew it. And if you look at it in the smallest of things, like, you know, I talk about my schedule, for example, I was doing pretty much, you know, 5 to 8 weeks away, coming home for 6 days, doing another 5 to 8 weeks away, coming home for 6 days. So there was a level of, yes, I was having fun. I was, you know, facilitating classes, which I absolutely love, and traveling around the world. Yet there was a moment of I wasn't totally being present, which I didn't notice then until now, because I lost control of my scheduled life. So then now I had to go, oh, you know, I remember when I first got home and I had 2 weeks self-quarantine, but I was super busy. We had facilitator training. I had JCF training, like all these things online. And at the end of that, I sat on the couch and I went, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, this is what it's like to be self-quarantined at home. Like, I actually had a moment, you know, and it's so different what we have had to live right now. And it's taken us out of any of those places that we've decided our life is predictable and into what Access Consciousness talks about. It's like question, choice, possibility, contribution. Yeah. What questions are you going to ask? What action are you going to take? Like, what are you going to choose now? So what I get, and I keep saying this in classes that I'm doing too, and this is my sense, is that we demand of ourselves and we request of the universe and we ask for more. We ask for greater each and every day. What I get now is the universe is opening all of these doors up for us. And I see a hell of a lot of people that are running through, walking through, maybe a little tentative, you know, or calling your friends through or doing some roly-poly through, whatever. And then some are slamming them shut and going, no, that's not correct. I want to go back to what was. Like, I even spoke to someone recently and they said, you know what? I really liked it when my life was like this. Dun, 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 dun. And I was like, but that's not occurring anymore. It's changed. So if we acknowledge the change that has occurred, then what future can we create? And what if all these doors that have been opened up, what is available, we have never, ever chosen before? We haven't been or done it. So what I would like to invite, and if you come onto this class with Gary Douglas, he's going to blow your friggin' mind. I know that. And if you don't choose, that's fine too. But what I would like you, the one thing I'd like you to walk away with here now is to not try and find where you were yesterday. Don't try and reference what was yesterday. Because if you stop referencing yesterday, then you'll stop, you know, shutting all the doors that have been opened for you. And if you go, all right, this is a completely different energy. What do I know about this? And then keep moving forward and keep moving forward. And I got to say, like, relax and allow your awareness to come to you. Like, allow your awareness to come to you. And, you know, consciousness is like continuously whispering in your ear. And if you create your life based on these reference points of what you've decided it is, then you're like, no, shh, you know, and it's like, no, the universe is going, oi, you know, what about this? What about that? Like the earth is just so, it's always been alive, but right now people seem to be able to hear it a lot more. So, and that's different.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we have more of that and embrace and engage with that, then what else? Like what else? We get to create the future.
Yeah. And I'd love to ask you, I mean, like with, of course, I mean, it's now, but then even about 15, has it been 20 years, like your thing with Access, like your stint with Access, 20 odd years? 15,
My
20.
affair with Access, 19 years.
Yeah, affair is such a nice word.
Everything and with all the interactions we've had and all the lovely conversations we've had, you've always created with the future, even for Access. Because I remember, I mean, I'm currently reading your Getting Out of Debt joyfully.
Joyfully, don't forget the joyfully. Yeah.
And then even over there, like I remember that part where you said that you got in and it was available in 4 countries and then it became 80 and now like it's so big. So I wonder, like what we were like in Access, we kind of created with future in the mind, and now this is kind of becoming so relevant in everybody's world. So could you talk a little more about that in terms of not creating from predictability and how?
Yeah, well, I would say you've got to start looking at what it is you'd like to have as a future. And I'm not saying, you know, I'd like a brand new car. I'd like, you know, married with 2 kids. I'm not talking like the pragmatics. It's like, what do you want your life to be? Like, I don't know. Yesterday, it was really interesting. I mean, I'm generally happy, but yesterday I was just so freaking happy. Like I was just having the happiest day. And one of the things I heard Dane say recently too was like, when you have that lightness of you, you're being you. Okay. So for me, the request would be, you know, what if you asked for that lightness of you every single day? What if you asked to be happy every single day? What if you asked to have that joy every single day? And what is it you'd like to see, you know, be created on planet Earth, in the world? When I came across Access, I had another business before. As I know a lot of people know, that I used to go to India, to Delhi, to Paharganj, to Jaipur, and, you know, I did business there, etc. It was lots of fun. And but the business I was creating, I knew that I wanted to create more vulnerability with people. I wanted to create a world where the trauma and drama didn't exist. And I couldn't see many people that were happy. And what I observed from myself was it didn't matter, you know, what race they were, what religion they were in, if they were rich, if they were poor, man, woman. It was like, there didn't seem to be this huge amount of joy. So, and I was like, what can I create in the world that would invite more of that? So when I met Gary and Dane, I was like, these guys are talking about everything that I want to create in the world. Like they just lit me up. And I was like, okay, I would like more of this. So then when I started, you know, very offhandishly working with Access because I didn't want to commit to them, and that's a whole other story, you know. But one of the demands that I made was that every single person in the world would know that Access consciousness existed. They don't have to choose it. It's not a cult. It's not a religion. It's not a dictatorship. I just wanted them to have the choice so that they can choose it. Because I know how much it changed my life. I'm pretty sure I would have been very screwed up by now if I hadn't met Gary Douglas and used the Access consciousness tools. And I don't mean that lightly. Like I was definitely heading in a road to destruction. So that was my aim. That was my target. That was my demand. That was my request. So, and you can have the same, or you can have something different, whatever it is for you. But if you look at that for you, then what I did with that was I just kept moving forward. Like, what action do we need to take? And I used to wake up in the morning, and I had another business that fully supported me working with Access, because Access definitely wasn't paying my rent or anything at that stage. So I had another business that was being that. So Access was something that I was choosing to, because it matched the energy of what I wanted to see in the world. But I would wake up and ask questions and be like, okay, so you know, who can I talk to today? Or where can I go? Like, how do I get this out there? And I would spend hours on my computer building these flyers and talking to different people and having different, you know, clearing nights or different things. But I just kept moving forward. And I think so long-winded, I know, but one, it's like start to ask what it is that you desire to create for you and the planet. And then two, keep choosing. You've got to keep choosing. You've got to keep taking some action. Like you can't just talk about it and wish that something shows up. You've got to take some action to allow it to show up, and then choose again and choose again and choose again and choose again. That's what creates a future.
So I have a question there. When you just said that it would have been very different if you had not chosen access at that time. There's this, like, what is it that when you're not choosing for the future, when you're not choosing action, is it that we're destroying our future? Like, what is it when we're not really making a choice? And
well, I mean, for me, it was a lot different. I definitely lived a very naughty life. So I was definitely heading on a road to destruction. That's for sure. And that's a whole other story. So for me, I was literally destroying me and my body. And I think like people maintain their life. I mean, I'm sure you guys know people, like you might have family members that just sort of, you know, they're happy with what, well, they think they're happy. They think they're happy with being unhappy, of choosing and maintaining what is, rather than what if you weren't trying to create the predictability, and what if you started to truly live? Like one of the things I always talk about is this is your life. Like where you are right now, you created this. You created everything in your life. And if you're listening to this and you're going, no, I didn't have a say in it. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You created it. You chose your parents. You chose the country you're born in. You chose everything. So you chose it. This is your life. Are you happy with it? Or would you like to create something greater? Like one of the questions I'm asking each day at the moment is, what would it take for me to be greater than I was yesterday? Because it takes me out of any of the conclusions that I've gone to of what my life was yesterday. And then what would it take for me to be greater? I have no idea what that looks like. It's not based on judgment. It's based on question. So I get that. And a lot of people I see too, I sort of like sit back and watch and see what somebody else chooses and then go, oh yeah, that worked, I'll choose that. But then that's referencing what somebody else chose to choose your life. What if you just keep choosing? Like you're not waiting for somebody else to choose it to see if it worked. It's like, what do you know? Like, you know far more than what you've been willing to acknowledge.
amazing. Thank you so much. That was
Now that we're on the topic of choice, we would also like you to, I mean, we know that we have 3 more minutes to go and we're going to milk as much as we can out of the next 3 minutes.
I can do a couple more minutes. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
And before we ask Simone to talk about the choice of possibility class that you're going to be doing very soon,
Yeah,
can I ask you a question? So we've been.
If you can get in with Datu, because he's
I can control it. That's cool.
okay. You're an Indian woman.
At least he lets me believe that it works. So what I really wanted to ask you was like, what we were just having a conversation amongst ourselves as well with this whole promotion of the future and stuff. And what we noticed was that the energy is so present and so palpable, and everything is so quick. You ask and it, just shows up. And you ask and it just shows up. And sometimes it feels like nothing, because this is like. And there are times when it just there's almost like a space of funk, because it feels like nothing. And like I have like so much of so many people asking me that question that it feels like nothing, and I'm so funky and like just feels like nothing. So is there something that you could say to that? Like,
yeah, it's like, what if, like, so if you destroyed and uncreated everything that you know and how you decided life has to be, that it has to have this solidity to it to change something, or a solidity to it to make it real, so that it's like, because when you're correct. It's like we're asking for things now and it's just like, boom, instant actualization. But then you go, did that really just happen? And it's like, and then you start to go to doubt. That was too easy. And it's like, why is it too easy? Because you're meant to have trauma and drama with it. You're meant to have some sort of fight. What if everything that we grew up with, and what if everything we knew up until today, you found out was a lie? Then what do you know? what do you choose? It's like, what if life was way easier than what we've been making it? What if the purpose of life was to have fun, which totally blew me away when I heard Gary Douglas say that many years ago. I was like, are you kidding me? The purpose of life is to have fun. I was like, do you know how many conversations I've had with people saying, oh, I've got to help animals, or I've got to help people, or I've got to help someone. It was always about, what do I have to give? And I was like, the purpose of life is to have fun. And I was like, that's easy. Or is it? Have we allowed ourselves to have that fun? And what if that was our future? What if our future was filled with gratitude and joy and fun and ease? You know, I mean, the mantra of Access is all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. So, and I love Dane's been giving out the home play of saying that 100 times a day.
Yeah.
All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. And what if things did show up really easily for you? If you're being really present with everything that is available, that's what shows up. And if you're being in question, that's what shows up. It never looks like the way you think it's going to look like. And yet there's possibilities beyond the trauma and drama, even in India.
Yes, I know. And I can like sense it now, even in India. Thank you so much, Simone. I mean, I think for me, the energy that you just infused of the future with fun and joy and gratitude was like, I was just waiting for someone to put words to it. Like, so thank you for that.
But we get to choose it. That's the thing. We get to create it. Like, what if we don't just talk about it? What if we wake up tomorrow and go, you know what? I don't care who's choosing what around me. I'm choosing joy. I'm choosing happy. I'm choosing gratitude. I mean, at one stage, I spent trying to work out what can I do, or what did I do wrong with my mother to try and make her happy, because she just was never happy. And then I realized, took me years to realize that she loves being unhappy. That's her happy. Wow. So I was like, oh, okay. So it doesn't matter what she's choosing. I'm still going to choose joy. I'm going to choose happy. I'm going to choose gratitude. And I'm also going to be an allowance of her, because it's not about me making her wrong, and it's not about me fighting her or fighting anyone else. It's being an allowance, but it gave me so much freedom and ease in my world to go, oh, okay, that's okay. But I'm not going to hold myself back for anyone or anything else. I'm an allowance what anyone else is choosing, and I'm choosing more. I'm choosing greater each and every day. That's the future that we get to create. That's the future that we get to be. But you got to choose it.
And that conversation wasn't relevant to Indian boys or Indian men at all.
Not at all. Especially the ones
I love what you said, that
someone another drink when she was talking about mothers and whatever she said.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So there's a question on the Facebook live stream. Nate says, can you talk about choosing for the future next year later versus 500 years later, very quickly before you sign off?
Yeah. So one of the things I've been asking, and I mean, one of the tools in Access we say is, if you choose this, if you choose this, even you could just say, if I choose this, what will it create? So you have an awareness. Okay. If I choose this, what will it create? You can ask, if I choose this, what will my life be like in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time? But what I've been asking as well is, if I choose this, what will the earth be like in 25,000 years' time?
Wow.
In 500 years' time? Like, what if we actually went further? What if we were willing to acknowledge that we have the capacity to change the future? We have the capacity to choose a future, not to control it, to choose the energy of what we know is possible, and to contribute to the earth and the world and have it contribute to us. Like, we've been ignoring the earth for a very long time, and we've been destroying it. And it's like, okay, what if we were an allowance of our choices now? Like, we don't get to change the choices we made before, but what we do get to do right now is make new choices.
Yeah.
So what if we get to make new choices today?
Awesome. And that's also what being the leader for a new future is about. Is that correct?
Well, I'm going to say, what do you know? Because being the leader of the future, it's like, what do you know? Like, you all know something different. And that's the beauty of it. It's like, we all have different awareness. So it's not trying to be like somebody else. And it's like, I mean, Gary Douglas is the founder of Access Consciousness. He's friggin' amazing. Like, he's just off the charts. I'm so grateful for him. And it's not about him telling you anything. He will be empowering you for you to know that you know. So do you have the courage to come along and choose something like that?
Absolutely. We can't
Or do you
wait.
just want to be the same as everybody else, you know?
We also have the class translated live in
Yeah,
Hindi.
we are translating it live.
That's cool.
Excited.
We are two translators and like we are super excited. And just before we let you go, Simone, if you could, I mean, we've been talking about the C word, we've been talking about choice ever since we began, and that's been the biggest, I mean, like Access has been all about it. We also have a choice of possibilities with you on the 19th, 20th, and the 21st. So how is it been for you to facilitate this change and to actually kind of invite people to choice all across the world?
And especially now,
And now,
right? With the energy now.
Well, greater and greater every time I facilitate. The last class I did was in Budapest, Hungary. Actually, the last class I did in Budapest, Hungary was the last live class I did with, you know, people, bodies I could touch in the room. And then we had to leave the next day and get out of there. And the level of vulnerability in that class was just off the charts. But I also noticed that, you know, as I change and as you know, as we get clear on the tools, etc., it's the level of vulnerability I can facilitate from, and then allowing other people that vulnerability too allows even greater change. I'm noticing I'm actually really enjoying doing the classes online like this, because you also get to see everyone, like you can look at everyone's faces, etc. I'm definitely looking forward to hugging everyone. I said to someone the other day, I think I'm just going to hug and cry everyone, or like when I see people. Give me a week and then I'll be like, oh, no more hugs. No. But it's, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. But this class, I was talking to Francesca Frantini, our worldwide coordinator today. There's an enthusiasm in my being in my body for this Choice of Possibilities class that, it's sort of like I wouldn't even try and define it. I just get the sense, I've got a bug flying around here. I just get the sense of the amount of change that people are actually desiring and asking for, and I will do anything and everything I can to deliver that, contribute, assist, and be there for you. But there's more ask
because I've been on a couple of classes with you, and I can vouch that you deliver far more than anyone is asking for. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure. Like, that's best part of my job, is that seeing people change and knowing that they, I mean, Jesus Christ, look at all the people around the world in Access that are just like choosing more. Yeah, happy.
Happy during lockdown. You can't be happy during lockdown.
Yeah.
I know. I know. I've had some people who are not in Access say something to me about like, oh, you must be finding it really hard. Like, you're not, you know, and I'm like, no, not at all. Actually, I'm learning to bake. I'm learning to cook. It's like, you know, all these different things. It's like, no, I'm having a great time. Yeah. And I still get to engage with so many amazing people around the world like you guys. So thank you so much for having me on here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
very much. We are so waiting for you to come to India and also hug you for 1 week.
I know. I'm due in September, and I know we haven't taken that.
I have a sense that we will do it. We will have it.
We're waiting on both our governments. Like, the Australian government is being very interesting right now. So, but we haven't taken it off the schedule. I think we just need to. Every 2 weeks we get more information. So we'll see.
What are the India dates, Datu?
I'm not sure about the dates, but in the month of September.
I don't. In September, yeah. I wouldn't even get that out there because it's tentatively there towards the end of September. Yeah. But I don't know. Let's go month by month to create our future. So yeah, so we've got Gary's future class in 3 weeks' time. I think exactly 3 weeks. Yes. An hour and a half ago, I would start the Choice of Possibilities class. So, and I'd love to have everyone on there. It would be fabulous.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. How does it get any better than that? Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
And guys, very quickly, there's a pre-party to this class where if you've done a foundation, you're invited to that. You would have received an email giving you the link to join that class. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be probably some wine and some crackers and some nice backgrounds and some amazing people from all over the world. So please check your emails or reach out to one of us to join in that pre-party for the future class with Gary Douglas that is on the
And if you
3rd
haven't
of
done a
June.
foundation and you'd like to be on Living the Future class, all you have to do is buy one, which is available. The Global Foundation is available on the Access side. Pick that up and join us for the pre-party, and we'll see you in the class.
You guys
Thank you,
are
Simone.
amazing. Thank you for being you. Like, truly. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. India loves you. So we'll see you soon.
See you
Cool.
soon.
Thank you. I love India. Mwah.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye. Guys, we are still live, and we're still live. And
Yeah,
I want to say something that I love how all of us showed up in the various possibilities, even the choice of our clothes. Like, you're in a solid color, Datu was in stripes, I was in polka dot, and Simone was all over in like those paisley patterns. And I couldn't stop looking at the four of us on screen, go like, choice of possibilities.
Yeah. Did any of us take a
Possibilities.
picture?
No.
I think we should. I think
But we
screenshot
can
of
rewind this and take a picture.
Yeah, we can. Totally can.
Thank you, guys. This has been amazing. Thank you, everyone who's watching us. Thank you so much for being on. And we'll see you in the class. And if you need any information, reach out to Shweta, Datu, or me. Okay?
Totally. Sangeeta, you'll have to stop the recording before I end the meeting.
All right.
Living the Future with Gary Douglas on the 3rd June.
Yes, and it starts at 6:30 p.m. India time.
Hey, can I just say one last thing? Is that just indulge in it for the next 2 days, choosing the class. Indulge in it, whether you're registering for it or not. Just indulge in the energy of choosing the class and see what changes for you. Is my invitation to you. So cool. Thank you. We can stop the recording.